Hello. So this presentation ends my series about Istio, at least for now. As a last step, I'll get back to the telemetry part of it, and I'll be demonstrating how you can create and use your own metrics to monitor your application. There is a lot to say on the observability part of Istio, and I don't want to rephrase the documentation or do a bad job in explaining what you can do with it. So once again, if you want to know more about it, go visit the website. That's istio.io. You'll see that the development team has done a tremendous work in explaining what you can do with it. They also provide a full set of demonstrations and a complete microservice application called Book Info. You'll find a lot of hands-on, so take your time, install them, use them, try to understand them. What I'll do instead is just perform another live demonstration of Istio, and this time I'll be playing with custom metrics, Prometheus and Grafana. So in this demonstration, we'll continue to feed the traffic management stuff, but now instead of looking at things on the screen, we will create a metric, send it to Prometheus, and create a graphic based on that metric in Grafana. If you are interested by the demonstration and want to do it for yourself, have a look at my Cloud for Fun project on my GitHub, and the demonstration is actually part of the blog/istio-telemetry directory. You can look at here, and it has different files. So basically, mostly it's one file, the manifest that creates the different resources. But I also have a script to create a tunnel to Grafana. And a script to create a channel to Prometheus. It is, so I've already, so I should be able to connect to Prometheus here, and should be able to connect to Grafana. Yeah, so it's working fine. Obviously, I already have Istio working, same set of configuration I had in the previous demonstration. So, in order to monitor something, we'll have to create something. We will create the virtual service that performs the load balancing. Okay, it is now created, and we will run the test script that will show you that we can create a request or a set of requests that will go to version 1 or version 3, depending on the weight we've put for the virtual resource. And we're good. So what we want to do now is create the metric and send it to Prometheus. So in order to do that, the way it works is by creating 3 different resources, and we'll have a look at them. Right. The first one is what we call an instance. So an instance is based on the template. So in that case, we will create an instance of a metric. So this is something that will be managed by a mixer that will be able to send some things to Envoy to capture those values, and it has a set of parameters. So the parameters, I won't dig too much into that, but I just want to show you how to understand it. So you just go to the documentation, you go to the reference part, there is the configuration, and here you have everything that is related to policies and telemetry. You look at the different templates. Here I'm using a metric template. So there is a description of the metric template here. And as you can see, there is a value for the metric. So in that case, every instance will have a value of 1, and a set of dimensions. So dimension in that case will match, in the case of Prometheus, will match the labels. So I create 4 labels and 4 dimensions that will become labels. And I can use attributes that are currently being accessible. If you are interested by the attributes values, that's where you get everything. And I can manipulate those values. So because there is an expression language, here again, you can get a bunch of things, and you have some examples in the default metrics sections. So most of the important use cases are here, right? But you can adapt that to your needs. Okay, so that's for the instance. Once we have the instance, we will create what we call an handler. So the handler will say to Mixer what to do with that instance. So in this case, it will send the information to an adapter, which is a Prometheus adapter. And here again, we have some parameters that say the kind of things that are managed and the matching that are required. So for instance, here we will send a name of the metric that will be recurse underscore request underscore count. Actually, it will be prefixed by Istio underscore, but that will be the name of the metric, what instance it will manage, the type of metric, and also the labels. So it's important that your labels actually match your dimensions. You need all those labels to be defined, right? And so that Mixer knows when to use this handler, we will create a rule, and the rule will define what kind of action will be triggered. So it will send recurse to Prometheus, and for all these sort of instances, because there is only one, this is a table with only one instance type, and it will do it when it matches, when the condition is true. So in that case, when the destination service is actually recursed, and it will do it on the server side, right? So I can just apply this resource. So apply the manifest with those three resources, and we're done. So now we can access Prometheus, and we should be able to see the Istio our queries. Here it is. I just executed. Here it is. So you see that I can get that if I want to have, say, a rate on 5 minutes. I'll just do that. Here it is. So, and you see it almost matches my weight that are 80-20, right, on 5 minutes, on the last 5 minutes. I can obviously create a graph, so say on 5 minutes, right, and you see it's actually converging to my values. Okay, so now let's go to Grafana. We will copy this, and to create a dashboard on Grafana, we just create a dashboard, choose the visualization, create a graph. Here, what we'll do, we'll go back to there, we'll define that we want to rely on Prometheus, and we'll define our value, and that's it. I think that should work. Okay, we'll restrain that to the last 5 minutes, and we will refresh it every 5 seconds. We should be good, right? And here you have all what you want to do with Prometheus. So for instance, if I want to create a table for the legend, okay, I put it to the right. You see that it doesn't really match my needs. I'd prefer to have just the destination name in that case. So I just go back to the settings, create a variable that will be named destination, rely on Prometheus, and I will query those variables as part of the metric. So I query all the values that are existing as part of the metrics. I can sort it this way, and I save it. Right. If I go back there, I should be able to use the destination as a legend. Here it is. Right. I can create some alerting or whatever. Like I said, this is the end. I wish you now better understand what is a service mesh and what you can do with Istio. Pay attention to the fact that we've only scratched the surface and that there are way more scenarios that it can help you with. As a conclusion, Istio is really a powerful framework. One thing we did not explore at all is the performance part of it. There has been a lot of work in that area, and you can already be confident that it can be used with some production workloads, assuming obviously that you remain careful, and especially due to the fact that the API is not GA yet. So one last word, hopefully you've liked my demonstrations. If that's the case, do not hesitate to share them on Twitter and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you have more ideas, leave a comment on the videos or on the project, and let's meet again to explore some other cloud solutions soon.